Okay, we ran out of power on our battery yesterday, so on the phone. So we pulled spacers out. We're able to replace and add spacers on a new bolt so that everything lines up the way it's supposed to on our belts for the power steering and the alternator for the water pump. Now, one thing we're going to go back through and do at a later date is install an AC compressor pedestal there and an aftermarket AC compressor so that we can run the AC on this thing, because there are AC lines. We just have to rehook them up, replace the expansion valve. So, as you can tell, we went through the carburetor. Carburetor's done. It's on there. Everything's hooked up, so it's just going to be a matter of putting fuel in the back, putting an air cleaner on, and attempting to crank this sucker up and see what it does. We're working right here on the brakes. Now, when I pulled this brake off over here, it looked like it was leaking all over the place. Well, it wasn't the brake. It was actually, in all reality, there is an oil leak off this differential. So I don't have the part to fix that just yet. So we're going to do the right thing and leave it. And I'm not sure what the heck that is coming off of, because there shouldn't be. What is that? That's some type of water or coolant? Huh, that's weird. Not sure where, because it's not coming. Must be something inside the trunk. No telling. Anyways, we'll come back to that in a minute. But back to this. I'm still going to change the wheel cylinder out because we already have the wheel cylinder, and I did have issues with this one once before, so better to take care of it now. And when I can take care of sealing back up this other piece, I will.
That's the right.
Well, welcome back. It is now a whole nother day later.
Day 3.
Why? Because this was the wrong one. It was the right one, but well, let's rephrase that. It was the wrong wheel cylinder in the right box. I know that don't make sense, but we'll explain it to you. They put the right part number in the right box, and that was the number and what it was supposed to be for the right-hand side rear of the car. But they put a left-hand side wheel cylinder in it. So now we got the part. We're going to move ahead. Well, now we're back. We got a new wheel cylinder in here, and everything's back the way it should be underneath here. Everything's good. Just a matter of putting this on. Huh? And now this is on. Yeah, we fumbled it. Alright, I'm going to leave this side up for the moment because we're going to be pushing brake fluid out here, because that is actually the farthest from, this one here is the farthest from the master cylinder, and we still got to bleed master cylinder, and we still got to put on other stuff. So for the moment, we're going to leave this exactly the way it is. Okay. We're back to where we began yesterday, and I'll describe this again this time. If you notice, this is just a junction block here, because with it being just one in and they all separately go out, your residual valves a lot of times tend to be in the master cylinder versus here. And since it's a four-wheel drum brake car and we're not going to a disc brake car, we don't have the need for a proportioning valve or diverter valve the way they have on other cars. a lot of people are going to go, well, you're screwing up. No, you're not. In this case, we're going to plug this port, which is what fed our rear brake line. Why are we going to do that? Because our rear brake line is going to its own separate spot on the master cylinder. And since there's not a shuttle valve in here, like a lot of the other ones have, all I need is a plug, a union, and another line. And that'll help us with what we need to do. So, hopefully I got the right one. Yes, we got the right one. So we'll tighten this one up. That will seal off that port. And then we'll come back with some of the other fittings that we fabric cobbled together. I like that word, fabric cobble. Because we'll take a union like this that actually has the inverted flare there, and that will go here and connect. So one of the other things we're going to need to do is we need to pull off the push rod off of that particular master cylinder so that we can measure, because there is like maybe that much difference between the two master cylinder push rods that came with this kit. However, we need to know. I mean, if you take these and set these like this, it doesn't look like there's much of a difference, but there is. About, I don't know, what, 1/8 inch? But that can make a big difference when you're talking about the stroke on that master cylinder. So we'll pull the push rod out of there to figure out which one of these to use with this master cylinder. Okay, this is something I wanted to show y'all that you don't necessarily see on the other ones. Is this one actually, this car actually comes with a plastic grommet that goes actually in to this take up the slack. And notice the difference on the end. This is a locking style. This is the one that came originally out of the thing. So let's see. Is it that one? Or is it that one? It's going to be the longer of the two is going to be what we're going to need for what we're going to do. And we will see based on this, I guess. Yep. Probably going to have to put that plastic bushing again. Here. The things that get lost on cars over the years and people just ignore, or they may just remachine them. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Still should go in there. Ah, there we go. So that one is back on there, and we can do what we need to do now, which is that clip, when it gets in there, clicks in and locks. There we go. That's going to be our new master cylinder, and we're still going to have to bench bleed it, which means I got to get out my plugs and get it ready. Okay, now you can begin to see what we're doing. This is your rear brakes. This is your front brakes. I just rebent it using a tubing bender that we have to go to here. So next step, fittings from there to there. I already started on this. It's gonna be funky, but we got it. If I had a dual flare tool, I would actually re-flare it and just do it a smaller, shorter run, but I don't, so this is what we got. Well, we hooked up the battery and guess what came on? The brake lights. If you look back here, the distance on this eyelet from here to the flat surface is where your brake switch sits on these things. I checked it on this one. This one isn't close. The one that's in there isn't close. So I'm gonna have to take all of that back out after already bleeding the brakes. Take it all back apart. Fish this sucker back like this out of that one, and I'm gonna go back to this one. Because guess what? This one's got the proper distance on it. It really pisses you off when you see stuff like this. Well, we're waiting to see here in a second. I still got just a little bit of gasoline in here. We're going to see. There we go. Kick it over, Judah. Stop! Hit the accelerator. No! Yeah, we ain't got fuel up here yet.
So dump some in. Alright.
Okay, that's the last bit of fuel. Kick it over again. It started up.
Yeah.
Now let's see. There's a leak right here. We need to fix. So we know we're getting fuel up to here. There it is right there. Cracked. All right. We need to find some fuel line. We'll be back in a second. Go ahead. Do it again. Well, it runs. It's not running right. And I'm tired and hot. And I'm ready to call it a day. Because here pretty quick, the traffic's going to get way too bad down there at the end of the road. And we're not going to be able to get home because they're going to have a concert across the road. So we're going to do the best thing we can and get the heck out of Dodge. So the boys are picking up some stuff right now. I've got to go grab a measuring tape to go measure something real quick, and then we are going to load up and leave. So if you like this, please like, subscribe, Rumble. If you're on Rumble, check it out. Trying to get a car that they can actually drive while I'm gone, because the wife's car's got to go in the shop. It's funny, it's the new cars that are messing up all these times. But yeah, there it is. I guess we'll catch you later. Just drive it.